morning, America! Good morning, folks. Gonna do something a little bit different today. We're going to talk about the Gen Zs. Yeah, Gen Zs, 19 to 27-year-olds. How they don't want to work. How they want to just live in their parents' basements. How they don't like being worked too hard. It's crazy. It's crazy. We've created a whole new generation of lazy people. That it does look like. So let's get into this. Check out what's going on. We'll bring the music down. My Achy Heart by Audio Hurts. Off the YouTube audio library. We'll bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I worked hard when I was a young kid. I got out of college. I started the corporate job. I worked 9 to 5 and just worked. I mean, try to climb that ladder, right? So I've been retired now for 4 years. 4 exact years now. Just past a week of 4 years. And so I put in 33 years. 33. Ring a bell to that. 33 years of corporate America. Fortune 100. A lot of Fortune 100 companies. 2 or 3 Fortune 100 companies. See a lot of the same stuff. See a stuff a little bit different. It all was about this. It was all about the money. And I guess I had the luxury. I didn't work with a lot of Gen Zs. I worked with the Millenials. They were bad enough. Believe me, the Millenials that I worked with towards the end of my career made my hair gray. Yeah, you can see what they did to me. So I can only imagine what it's like working with Gen Z. And as I was doing my research for this video, I found out the reason that Gen Zs are the way they are is that they're coddled. They're sheltered by their parents. And you'll see this as we go through this. They've got a different perspective on life. A different perspective between you and me. I don't know you, you don't know me, but we can agree that their perspective on this stuff and working for a living is totally different. So let's buckle up, Buttercup, right? Suck it up, Buttercup. Buckle up and let's go into the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs. This is crazy, my friend. This is crazy. Got a few videos here that give different perspectives on what the hell's going on with the Gen Zs and why they don't want to work. So let's talk about quiet quitting and bare minimum Mondays. This is not how you want to start your career.
Minimum Monday. So I'm going to read this kind of quote that basically describes it. So it says, much like quiet quitting, bare minimum Monday encourages employees to ease into their work week by doing just enough to get by.
So like I said, Gen Z, 19 to 27, at the beginning of their corporate career, and then they're going to come in on a Monday and just do enough to get by. I don't think I would recommend that, but let's listen some more.
Advocating for people to do the bare minimum. Advocating for people to do just enough to get by. What the hell is that all about? When has doing the bare minimum actually improved someone's life?
This guy has some valid points that I agree with.
I get it if you hate your job, if you're not happy with where you're at, if you're not appreciated in the way you'd like to be by your employer, but how does doing the bare minimum actually improve your position, improve your situation? You're giving up that personal agency of saying, hey, I and me alone can change my situation. But if your answer to fighting capitalism is just doing the bare minimum and you think that's how you're going to, stick it to the man and improve your life, you are sadly mistaken. Doing the bare minimum is not going to get you further in life. If anything, it's going to hold you back.
So there you go. He talked about capitalism. Yeah, the Gen Zs are have a tendency to gravitate towards socialism and being given things by their parents on a frequent basis. They in some cases, the parents had to apply for the jobs for these kids. I've heard stories where people actually, the parents actually go with the children, the adult child, that's what we'll call them, adult childs, to the interview. It's crazy. It's crazy how coddled these people are. They've been conditioned where if they feel uncomfortable, they pull back. They pull back because they've been sheltered their whole lives. They lived in their parents' basements. They've been given money by their parents. They didn't work when they were in high school or college. I know some of these kids. And I know exactly why they are the way they are, and it's their parents. Their parents are most to blame. It's a culture, my friend. It's a culture. So let's move on. If there's no one else to blame, you can always blame the boomers, right? Because the boomers are retiring. They put in their time, and you hate that. You hate that the boomers saved their money, went to work every day, 9 to 5 for 33 years, and are able to retire. And you're just getting out of college. You got a huge amount of debt. And you gotta work. You gotta work 9 to 5. That just pisses you off. But anyway, let's hear they talk about the boomers.
Worker girl snaps on by boomers, telling her to just work harder. Well, you've broken the economy forever.
It's the boomers.
You're the only ones who benefit. It's hard to not feel bad for why.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the
She goes off the rails here, but when did you, who thinks you can work at Walmart as a career? Except if, like the store manager, yeah, associate, assistant manager, maybe, but working as a clerk at Walmart is not a career job, my friends. It's temporary, it's part-time work. You're supposed to go to college and get a degree, my friend.
The rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work.
We're confused. She's not. Just remember that as we finish up this clip.
5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
That's because it's not supposed to be a career.
We own nothing. You can sit here and you can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but I've been working my tail end off just to barely make it by. And respectfully, I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. And that is what you created, not Gen Z. We're just here getting started. You've been doing it for the last 20 years. You tell me how it got ruined. We can sit here and we can call Gen Z lazy all you want, but you let the economy turn into what it did. And now it's Gen Z's fault because we don't want to work to fix your mistakes.
Enough is enough.
So there you go. That's one pissed off Gen Zer. Let's keep moving on here. I got to get my buddy here. He's gonna solve all this for the Gen Zers, hopefully. But I got a feeling the Gen Zers don't like Donald Trump, and they're not gonna be voting for him. But there again, if that's the case, it's their own fault. Think about that, Gen Zers. If you're not voting for DJT, Mr. T, you're just gonna be living in problems the rest of your life. So let's move on to the next clip, which I call reality.
Really difficult to work with.
So, a new resume builder survey of 1,300 plus managers and business leaders.
Nobody likes to work with Gen Z. I wonder why, after watching those first clips.
Revealed 74% found that those people who are 26 and younger tend to be the most challenging to work with. What are some of the top reasons? A lack of technological skills. That one surprised me. Lack of motivation. They're easily distracted, easily offended, and dishonest.
What a bullshit survey. Like, I can't even believe this was a news story. Breaking news. Old people think young people are lazy. Story alone. Might as well be breaking news.
Old people think young people are lazy because they're just trying to motivate them. We're just trying to motivate you. Just trying to help you get started with something you need to finish. Your career. Get moving on it.
Old man yells at clouds. And I especially like that it said that they're easily offended.
They're easily distracted, easily offended.
Easily distracted, easily offended. Oh no, I'm sorry I offended you, but get over it! Get over it! Get over your being offended. It'll be a hell of a lot better for you, I'm telling you.
Boy, you can't even slap a coworker on the ass these days. You can't even honk a woman's boob without the woke Gen Z getting offended. Okay, but here's the truth of the whole thing. Most of these companies would lay you off in a heartbeat if it affected their bottom.
This is the truth. This is the ultimate truth. And I think they've seen this happen to their parents and their relatives. And this is why they're so pissed off just a little bit.
Bottom line. And Gen Z knows that. They might even be the first generation to enter the workforce knowing that. I'm not telling you to be lazy on someone else's dime. But a lot of these companies don't give a damn about you.
So there you go. That's the truth. As I worked my 33 years in corporate America, the attitude of these companies did change. I noticed that after my first 7 or 8 years, it all went downhill. It was all about the bottom line. It was about the money. They didn't care a crap about the workers at that point.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, I noticed that, and it's just as bad. It has not returned back to the workers. The companies are only worried about their bottom line. You need to realize that it's just a paycheck, my friends. It's just a paycheck. Now let's look at another snowflake here. I love me some Gen Z snowflakes. So let's move on to that. Here we go.
This is my first job, like my first 9 to 5 job.
Oh, you're gonna feel sorry for this girl when it's over. Oh, I'm thinking that this girl, maybe she's a candidate for working at Hooters. Just by looking at her and her attitude, I think she would fit in well at a local Hooters. If I knew where this girl was at, I would send her that idea.
Job after college, and I'm in person, and I'm commuting in the city, and it takes me.
Oh, I'm in person! Oh no! Let's go on.
Forever to get there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to afford living in the city right now.
She probably got to pay for her own coffee and donuts and lunch. Oh my God! Oh no! I can't pay for my own food.
So that's off the table. Like, duh. If I was able to walk to work, it'd be fine. But I'm not. So it literally takes me, like, I leave here, like, I get on the train at 7:30 and I don't get home.
You could tell she's out of her comfort zone. We talked about that earlier. It's all about the comfort zone. The Gen Zers cannot be out of their comfort zone. And this lady, she's out of her comfort zone.
Till like 6:15 earliest, and then like I don't have time to do anything. I want to shower, eat my dinner, and go to sleep. I don't have time or energy to cook my dinner either. Like I don't have energy to
just
work
no
out.
time.
Like, I'm so upset.
Oh, I'm so upset. Oh no. Oh, I like how she said it. Oh, it's like a Valley girl. Remember the Valley girls in the 80s and 90s? Yeah, she's a Valley girl.
They're like, I don't have energy to work out. Like, that's out the window.
Oh,
like,
no.
I'm so upset. Oh, my God. Nothing to do with my job.
She's almost crying. She's almost crying about having to go to work.
At all, but just, like, the 9 to 5 schedule in general is crazy.
This cannot continue.
So there you go. Now they're gonna say, well, you know, it's not that we're snowflakes. It's just that we have standards. We have standards. They're going to blame it on having standards. So you can't blame them. So let's listen to this.
For Gen Z in the workplace, employers are reporting that this generation is the most difficult to work with.
Yeah, we heard this already, right? Yeah, here we are again. They're difficult to work with.
You want to know what's funny? Come here. It's not that the new generation is more difficult to work with. It's that the older generation is more difficult to...
Yeah, listen to this. It's not that the new generation is difficult. It's the older generation has some standards.
to work for, right? Because in the article it further explains that the newer generation is more difficult to work with, right? Because apparently they're easily offended. get so close right now. I promise you it's the older generation that is...
Yes, it's the boomers. We heard that already. It's the older generation that's the problem. The ones that work 33 years of their life to make a to make a paycheck, make a life, to send their kids to school, to pay their payments on their car and their house. They're the problem. They're the problem. The people living in the basement, don't worry about them. They're not the problem.
More offended than anybody else. If you don't believe me, go to your boss and ask.
This is classic here. Listen to his backup evidence on why it's the old people. Listen to this. Listen to this and tell me how many times you've heard of someone doing this at your job.
For a raise and watch how offended everybody gets, right? Or put in your 2-week notice and watch how personal your boss takes that, right? Another...
Let's listen to that again. You got to catch that. Check this out.
Right now, I promise you it's the older generation that is more offended than anybody else. If you don't believe me, go to your boss and ask for...
Asking for a raise. When was the last time you did that? That is career ending. That is career ending, folks. You don't do that.
Raise and watch how offended everybody gets, right? Or put in your 2-week notice and watch how personal your boss takes that, right? Another reason was apparently the new generation is untrustworthy. I promise you, during your job interview, when your boss says, we're like a family, and then you have to take a day off because it's a personal issue.
Oh, yes, got to take a day. I've only been working here a week, but I need to take a day off. My God, I'm just so stretched. I've been working a week.
Watch them make you feel so guilty for doing so, right? And lastly, they said that the newer generation apparently are lazy. It's not that they're lazy. They're not getting paid enough to do more.
There you go. They want more pay to do less. That's the reality. Talk about, this is social. These kids are socialites.
And what they're already hired to do. That's not called being lazy. That's called taking a stance and having standards.
They got standards. Okay. So now we're going to go where they're saying it's the company's fault. It's not the boomers' fault. It's not the Gen Z's fault. It's the company that we can blame. So let's watch this on the way out.
Just popular to trash younger employees. Right now, Gen Z is a target of, they're lazy, they don't want to do anything, they just want money for nothing. Which is not true. They wouldn't mind working if the company's not trash. It's like
Yeah, it's the company's a sucky company that hired me. I couldn't find a job, so I took this job, even though the company was sucky. So the company's to blame now.
They see the situation that their parents and grandparents are in. They don't want that. They want to have things.
They want to be the CEO first year out of college. That's what they want.
But they want experiences. They want to enjoy their life. Like, imagine that. They will work hard. I mean, people said, millennials didn't work hard. Even Gen X, y'all said that they were the slackers. Like, there's always a criticism of younger people. But people will work hard. They just want to see some outcomes. They're like, well, I work hard to earn money, but, like, how come I can't buy anything? I can't buy a home. I can't buy a car. I can't get a one-bedroom apartment.
Think about that. Think about that and then vote. Vote, my friends. Vote. Think about what this girl's saying. We'll rewind it just a little bit and think about what she's saying and vote. I'm telling you to vote. Make sure you vote and vote properly.
Work hard. Even Gen X, y'all said that they were the slackers. Like, there's always a criticism of younger people. But people will work hard. They just want to see some outcomes. They're like, well, I work hard to earn money, but, like, how come I can't buy anything? I can't buy a home. I can't buy a car. I can't get a one-bedroom apartment. It's ridiculous.
It's called inflation, my friends. It's called inflation, and I hope it's not eating you alive. Hope you enjoyed today's different type of video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to end it here. This is DJ Wonder Chrissy and my friend Donnie for the DJ and Donnie Morning Show. We did something a little bit different. We had some commentary on Gen Zs from across the tube. And like, share, subscribe if you would, if you like more of what we're doing here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. DJ Wonder Chrissy will end this with a hand slap and a bell ring and a see ya.